Good morning. This is new to me, especially. I used to do live videos on a pretty regular basis, and then it seemed like I couldn't share them or something was going on, and so then I did Facebook videos, and that had limitations too. But first of all, I wanted to thank those who have gone before me in boldness and transparency, and emotional transparency and vulnerability, to come on live and um, be authentic and share who you are and what you're about, and trust that it'll be okay, regardless of others' opinions, regardless of any seeming backlash you might receive. Thank you for paving the way. So, what's on my heart overall, which is a topic that has been on my heart for some time and part of my experience for some time, is okay, it said invite viewer. I'm not sure how that goes. So if I fail you during this broadcast, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so welcome. I'm glad you're here. So in short, and we're new friends, and I'm delighted. And our common friend helped me a great deal in the past, and so I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for the both of you, that you are joined together in what resembles to me perfect love, which is part of what I'm gonna talk about today. So one of my main topics of all those different videos was forgiveness, and oftentimes in the videos too, they were very messy and very, I was not feeling blessed and I was in some sort of mess. And so some of the videos I've done were a call out for help, a call out for love, a call out for God, just a call. Could you help me? Could you help me? Could you help me? And, friends and family, seemingly didn't help. And I realize now that it was because where do we even start? How could we possibly help this situation? So for those of you that have seen me in my mess, uh, please forgive and forget uh, that temporary insanity, if you will, that, and not hold me to it. I have learned for myself that someone that I think that I know, and I think I know how they're going to react, they literally might have completely transformed since the last time I saw them, and not to assume that I know anything about what they need, what they're about, what they want, things like that. So back to forgiveness. I'm just going to kind of be as present as I can instead of reflecting on old experiences regarding forgiveness. So last night I had the pleasure to hear a speaker who, the feelings that I had are hard to describe. The connection I felt is hard to describe. But what I had wrote for a mutual friend to pass on to that friend, that I related within the story, was that, the majority of my life I have perceived myself, and it seemed to have a lot of facts, that I was too much for other people, too energetic, too bold, too emotional, too something. And so people in general could only take me in small doses. So this is the truth or lie that I've been telling about myself and have come to believe it. And so this individual that was sharing had shared that that seemed the case for themselves also. And so I said, wait a minute, I might not be alone on this. Then the other thing that the individual had shared about was just never enough, never satisfied, always wanting more, often bored, often looking to fill up a gigantic hole with as much of anything and everything, and it's still just not being enough. So I really related to that. I identify myself as having a problem that I'm in solution. I celebrated 32 years of recovery with alcohol. And so I'll just use it as an example. And, you know, from the first time I drank alcohol to the last time I drank alcohol, you know, the minute it touched my throat, I thought, I want more of that. And I could never get enough of the more. It didn't matter if I went into a blackout. It didn't matter. I just couldn't get enough. So then I added men, I added work, I added adrenaline, I added thrill seeking, I added anger. Anger, you know, seemingly got me what I wanted. It produced the adrenaline. It was mind altering for me. And, you know, no matter what I was putting in myself from the outside, it just could not fulfill the inside, not satisfy. So again, I thought I was mostly alone in this, and this individual let me know by their boldness in sharing their story that I wasn't alone. Then what happened was a lot of tears. I mean, I think I was crying from start to finish. It was a good thing I was off camera and not a distraction to the person that was, or the people that were also in attendance from sharing their story. And I'm like, okay, what is this about? You know, I mean, just tears and tears, a little bit of wailing tears, a little bit of soft tears. And, you know, to sum it up, it was tears of gratitude, tears of joining, knowing that I'm not unique, I'm not alone, tears of release, that I've been, things that I've blocked or stuffed or ignored that needed to come to the surface. So it was a very healing experience for me. I had wanted that individual to know and did not have the contact information, but had a mutual friend. And I just thank that individual for their willingness, their accountability, their radical self-honesty, their emotional transparency, their vulnerability, their trust, and their gratitude. And there's no accident about those attributes that I just mentioned, because I had started, I think it's my 5th or 6th week, a joining of, well, first of all, I was invited, and I don't get invited. And then the person that invited me usually doesn't invite. And so I knew it was God because, you know, the uninvited being invited and the ones that don't invite, including or inviting me. And it's also been miraculously transformational in a short period of time. Areas that I thought could literally never change, that I was forever stuck in, patterns within relationships, there seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, so back to the heart here. So also over the last 48 hours, what was shown to me, in lack of a better, it would be like going from one experience, that experience being complete, going to the next experience, that experience being complete. And what had happened is I had realized about forgiveness, that when someone would come to mind for me from my past or from my present, I would ask for help in prayer and meditation. Please help me to see this differently. Please help me to see this person or this event or this situation as you would have me see it. Please show me the way. But what I've heard from many people, if they're able to be on a understanding and loving bent and able to understand and relate with people where they're at and forgive them for, a flaw or an error that had occurred. What you'll often hear, or I've often heard people say is, yeah, but I can't forgive myself. And then in religious circles, it seemed like we would get shamed for that. Well, if God forgives you, who do you think you are to not forgive yourself? So what's on my heart right now, I'm going to close my eyes and say a couple prayers, and so that I'm not distracted looking at my own mug in the camera, and ask for forgiveness for a couple, 2, 3 things. So here we go. The first prayer, well, I guess I can keep my eyes open for this. So the first prayer, my mother was definitely a Christian, originally Baptist, changed to Catholic because she figured my dad might go to church then because he wasn't going to become Baptist. And she was an integral part of my journey all along. And I was introduced to A Course in Miracles, which for me was an answer from the universe to help me make some sense of some things and help me let go of old ideas. And it just was the answer I needed at the time. So my mom related to an aunt that I was gathering with people based on A Course in Miracles, and the aunt said, well, where do you find A Course in Miracles? And, she said, go to the bookstore and see if it's in the Christian section or not, or if it's in the metaphysical section. So my mom goes to investigate, and she comes back with the report and let the aunt know that actually it's in both, sections. There's Course in Miracles materials in the Christian section, and there's Course in Miracles materials in the metaphysical section. So my mom decided to further investigate and make sure I was not involved in some type of cult, and things of this nature. So, and she ended up, I don't know that she really practiced it, but she had very close relationships within that venue, and had a beautiful experience with a counselor within that venue, and of thinking on forgiveness, working on forgiveness, and said, well, and the counselor said, well, what about your mother? Have you forgiven your mother? And she said, for what? She died giving birth to me. Why would I need to forgive her? I didn't even know her. And he goes, exactly. She left you, all alone. And that is something that you might want to take a look at. My mom had a forgiveness experience around that and experienced a lot of freedom because of that. So the background on my mom and A Course in Miracles and all of that. So one of her favorite prayers, which, oh, hi, good to see you. One of my mom's favorite prayers, which at least one of you watching has probably heard me say a bazillion times, is the Helper's Prayer. And, the pronoun in the helper's prayer is he. And a friend of mine in another group, Attitudinal Healing, changed the pronoun from he to love. So, just to bring you up to speed, my friend, I was talking about that the topic right now that I wanted to discuss overall was forgiveness, but from a different angle, and how if we practice forgiving others, but cannot seemingly forgive ourselves, and then kind of a rundown of the past 48 hours of why I'm on today. So I'm going to go ahead now and close my eyes, and I don't know how long they'll be closed. I like to do that to not be distracted by my own image. And so here we go. Okay, so this is the helper's prayer with the he pronoun, and then I'll follow it to the best of my ability, replacing he with love. So it goes something like this. I'm here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I'm content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Okay, now see if I could do it with the pronoun or the replacement of love. I'm here only to be truly helpful. I'm here to represent the love that sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because the love that sent me will direct me. I'm content to be wherever love wishes, knowing love goes there with me. I will be healed as I let love teach me to heal. Okay. So without getting too much into the story of all the events that occurred yesterday, I realized one thing I hadn't asked often was, asking others, please forgive me. And so the only time I can think that I had that opportunity is through the 12 steps. There's a step where we make amends, or where we admit where we're wrong, and we promptly admit where we're wrong, and ask, well, what can I do here, acknowledging our part and not the other person's part. So that's the closest I've come to of saying, can you forgive me? And so this is a different, I've never done this, what I'm about to do, but it just feels strong on my heart as guidance to do this. Whether it's for myself or it's for others, I'm not really sure, but it's just on my heart. Okay. For those that are watching, if you can join with me, and as you're guided, maybe let me know later in person, or it doesn't have to be public for you. If there's anything that came forward for you as I do this. It's kind of like a kid at the first day of school. I'm not sure what to expect by this. So we each have identifiers, according to our physical presence and our life experiences. So, for example, mine would be, I'm white, I'm a woman, I was in the military, I was a single parent, I currently have a lot of pets. That's a general, the statistics, I guess, would be a good way to put it. And what I realized is we all project on one another our images or our beliefs about all of these things. What do I believe about white people? What do I believe about women? What do I believe about people that served in the military? What do I believe, and so forth. Well, also in my life, I was placed in positions of authority over and over again. And I don't think I know anyone that doesn't have a story of where a person in position of authority committed a vile act of some kind and crushed the trust and that sort of thing. And so in the military, I was a law enforcement canine. And so let's just keep it with that. So if anyone here has ever been hurt by a position of authority, whether it be a law enforcement person, whether it be a parent, whether it be a religious leader, anyone that we would come to believe or think that we could trust, and that trust is violated. I ask for your forgiveness for myself personally and for anything I represent to you that has hurt you. So I ask for forgiveness for any harm that I did, intentional or otherwise, but more importantly, I ask for forgiveness of the whole. When a person is in a position of any position of authority and they are behaving badly, going against what we have come to believe we could trust with that authority, I have kind of a radical experience around that. There is, I believe that we are either extending love or calling for love. And so how could I'll just use an example, a murderer or a serial killer, even better, how could a serial killer be calling for love? How could that even be possible? And for me, it would be daring the universe, daring God, daring our source, daring the beginning of all things. Are you going to stop me or what? And so they're calling for, if you're out there, then you would stop me. So that's the other tendency of all of humanity, I believe, is we either blame ourselves, blame God, or blame someone else. I've also come to believe that blaming and shaming don't work. That the blame, shame, guilt, guilt demands punishment. So I have felt guilty and ashamed, deserving of punishment, and my life reflects that. I have definitely taken a beating, took a licking and kept on ticking, I guess, but that was my own calling, that I deserved punishment for all this wrong and terrible things I had done or who I thought I was. And so in the spirit of forgiveness, I ask that after you watch this video, that you ask yourself, is there anything I haven't forgiven myself or someone else for? And if you're watching this video, it's my belief that you're in a position of willingness and open-mindedness. You might not think that you are, and you might even have aversion to some of the content that I've said, or even be furious about it. I know that I when someone says something to me and I react like, what do you mean? No, I don't agree with that. That's usually a sign that it's something coming to the surface that I need to take a look at. So after this video, I ask that in your quiet time, that you check with yourself, see if there's anything that you don't feel forgiven for, or that you don't forgive someone else for, and ask for help. Also, we could ask for help. There's one individual on right now that I've asked for help often in this area. We have prayed and lack of a better term, meditated together. We come from different belief systems, and I think sometimes we had motive to try to switch each other over to the right belief. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask her about that. I know I've had that motive. Please forgive me. Just like unsolicited advice, I could count on less than two hands how many times people actually said, Kimberly K., what do you think I ought to do, or what's been your experience about this? But I would tell them anyways. And so please forgive me, because it's a new dawn, and it's a new day, and it's a new life, and I want to get out of the advice and projection game. And so it's something I'm working on. But also, I would encourage anyone to join with anybody. Maybe pray on it of who to join with. Tell them your intentions of what you're trying to accomplish. So this has been presented to me maybe 5 or 6 times with 5 or 6 different people over the last month. And the less specific that they were, or that I was, trusting that the source of all things, is, we'll call it love. That's a good one. So the love that connects us and keeps us together, that we can't sever from, the essence of our being, our highest being, our highest frequency, our holy self, the infinite, not the finite, to connect with that, and that knows my best answer. That knows your best answer. And so I do believe we all know our own best answers, and that it's been implanted in us in the beginning. It's within us to know what to do in any situation and not be baffled by it. And so trusting each of ourselves more, that the answer will come from within. And so in joining with someone when I don't believe I have a solution, when I'm completely in a problem, when I've lost my way, what seems entirely, when I have that gift of desperation, when I'm in a mess, when I'm in fear, when I'm in confusion, I need physical help. I need another physical person. I can no longer see or recognize something I can't see, touch, or feel as my creator or the love that joins us. And so I absolutely need you guys. And I absolutely enjoy praying. So any excuse to unite and come together sporadically that presents itself to each of you, please take it. Please take that guidance, that it's an opportunity to join physically with another person, not knowing what to expect, but trusting that joining in itself is a good thing. And so with that, I'm gonna close up. I have no idea how long it is. I know that I did not navigate the mechanics of this venue, and so I welcome anybody that knows what I could do and can't do with these mechanics. But truly, thank you. I love you. Until we meet again.